Hey everybody, on this episode of Something New here in the Teeqlife Basement Bar, we are hitting up some brandy. You see 2 bottles, we're going to try one. And if it's good enough, maybe we'll get into the other one. I don't know. Odessa VSOP Brandy. Watch this episode. Everybody, I'm Don Ferguson and welcome back to another episode of Something New here in the Teeqlife Basement Bar, where we are trying Odessa VSOP Brandy. So before we get to the tasting, if you haven't subscribed to the channel already, just hit it right now so you don't miss any episodes. Let me find a glass and we're going to crack this open, but here are some particulars about this brand. Let's talk about Odessa VSOP Brandy. VSOP, what does it stand for? Very Superior Old Pale. Now this brandy is produced from estate-grown white grape varietals, Racasatelli, Aligoté, and Pinot grapes. That was a tough one. Odessa VSOP Brandy is matured at least 4 years in French oak barrels, and it could be actually up to 5 years. Woo! I like it. It's like an añejo tequila. The distillery that it's produced in is known for its wine and brandy making, and actually it's the oldest distillery in Odessa, Ukraine. How old? Well, it was founded in 1863. That's a long time. Let's get to tasting. Let's crack them open. Woo! 1863. That's a long time ago. I wasn't even thought of. My dad would... Anyway, we're going to pour... and we are going to let this breathe. Look at that, just coming out with this very elegant screw cap. Now while we let this breathe, let's get into the bottle. And it's kind of a basic bottle. It does have a symbol etched in right here, but nothing fancy about it. And sometimes if the juice is good enough, you don't really have to worry about the bottle being so fancy and selling it on the shelf when the juice doesn't match up. Did you follow? I hope so. Let's look at the color, and let me tell you, the aromas are already flowing. It's filling up this entire space. I can definitely pick up, but look at this color. It's very regal. I mean, it's a really nice deep dark golden. It's like almost like a deep rich luxurious honey, amber, whatever you want to call it. The aromas, let's just jump in because I already talked about it. It's like I spoiled a present. So I'm getting some raisin, absolutely, some honey, a little bit of that oak. So the French oak is just kind of really just flowing and billowing out of the glass. Some spices though, but I'm really picking up like citrus and raisin right off the nose. Now, in the glass, I'm also seeing the tears just slightly ooze down. Wow, look at that color. It's just beautiful how it glows. I think he needs somebody else. So there are a couple. But I am using a snifter. And there's a couple of ways. Like this is honestly from doing a lot of research on brandy and cognac, which we'll get into at the very end of this episode. You kind of want to drink it out of a snifter, but brandy can be warmed or it can be chilled, much like a woman. Little joke. Anyway, let's get to tasting. Reminds me, ooh, there's a lot of flavor. So there's a lot of, I'm picking up raisin, honey, kind of a creamy nuttiness. It's smooth. So in the aroma, I was picking up, some strong alcohol aromas. So the vapors were coming up, but it's smoother than I thought. I am picking up a lot of raisin. That was definitely a healthy sip right there. A little bit of butterscotch, maple, absolutely some maple. So for my friends in Canada, a you might like that. A little bit of wood, yeah, honey, but absolutely. Now I'm getting a little bit of pepper, a little bit of the spice that's resonating, you know, on my palate right now after my second sip. And trust me, that was a brilliant second sip. I did take a little bit too much, but it's okay. We're professionals here. So sweet, but not overly sweet. And when I look at this, I don't know if it's the smoothest sipper, but it's not bad. The honey, the essence of sweetness, I wouldn't call it artificial whatsoever. I'm getting, once again, caramel, some creaminess of that, almost like a Werther's. The raisin is pure, like permeating, so it's almost like a candy raisin, in so to speak. And it's, like I said, it's not artificial whatsoever. So if you're looking at like Crown Peach or Crown Apple, where it's kind of that artificial sweetness, this is not what you're getting whatsoever. This is very interesting. The only thing that I can compare it to is some Cognac, which I've had before, and it's definitely in that family. After your third, fourth sips, I mean, you're really opening up your palate. You're getting a lot of those flavors that are resonating that I talked about before. This is very interesting. It has like a fruity tone to it with a French oak, so I'm really picking that up. Interesting sip. I think it would pair extremely well with a cigar. And you know, if it's a guy's night out and you want to drink something brandy, which was very popular back in the day, this would be a solid sip. So before I get into another drink, let's just talk a little bit about the name, Odessa VSOP. Now, Odessa is actually a city that's named after a major seaport in Ukraine. It's known as the Black Pearl Sea, and it was founded in 1794. So there's a lot of history with the distillery and the city itself in Ukraine that this is named after. I feel so distinguished with a snifter in my hand. But anyway, I got a little bit more drinking to do, and this is something that you just kind of sip. You don't guzzle it, you don't take shots, you enjoy the moment. This is a fine brandy, which is actually really good. And from what I'm understanding, the price point is pretty exceptional. So that wraps up another episode of Something New here in the Teeqlife Basement Bar, where we tried Odessa VSOP Brandy. Good. Definitely something that you might want to check out in the future. Make sure to subscribe to the Teeqlife YouTube channel. Follow us on social media. And if there's anything that you think we should be tasting, trying, reviewing, shoot us an email. We'll see you on the next episode. I gotta finish my snifter. Just drinking some brandy, and it's the end of the video. That means it's time for a Teeqlife truth. And what is the difference between brandy and cognac? Well, cognac is made in the Cognac region of France. And brandy, it can be made anywhere in the world. That's the first difference. Now, cognac and brandy are both made from grapes, from white wine grapes. Cognac is also to be known as one of the oldest spirits in the world. As I drink, let's get a little deeper in the difference between the two. Now, cognac is to brandy as champagne is to sparkling wine. Did you get that? So, champagne can only come from one. I think you got it. The hierarchy, it goes brandy, cognac, and then cognac, fine champagne. Champagne. Wow. Cognac, champagne. I think we need to try that very soon. Anyway, that's the difference between brandy and cognac. That's a Teeqlife truth. Look it up. I'm going to drink. Life is too short to drink bad liquor. We'll see you next time.